Hello, Desert Mountain members. John Lieberger, Todd Bone. Welcome to another edition of Turf Talk. We're excited to talk a little bit about the golf courses this week and kind of where we're at. We have all 7 golf courses open. Todd, take us through our latest opening, which is Cochise. What are members going to expect here?
Well, hello, Desert Mountain members. Nice to be with you again this week. Give you an update. We are very proud of Cochise and the overseed that we have gotten or completed here at Cochise. The seed is taken very uniformly across the property, and we're really excited. You know, when you all come out to play, you will notice that the turf is still in its infant stages. We're a little ginger in spots, thus we're going to be regulating cart traffic here for a couple weeks and doing some things to kind of help encourage the turf, and then we'll be watering as well. So conditions will stay a little softer, the turf will stay a little taller as we kind of let it mature, but overall we are very excited for the conditions that we have.
I got to tell you, it looks outstanding. You know, and in addition to Cochise, Outlaw was overseeded partially this year. So how's Outlaw's overseed? That golf course opened on Friday.
So Outlaw had a terrific overseed. I think Matt told me he's been overseeding for 19 years and he had his best overseed this year. I can't take any credit for it, so Matt's gonna keep all that credit, but I was out there looking at it the other day and it is terrific. It came in very consistent, very nicely, and I think the members will be very happy to be out there.
Yeah, the early reports are the greens were rolling at about 11.6, so he's really got that course dialed in nicely.
Yeah, we're starting to get our green speeds across the mountain down now with the temperatures lower and the humidity lower, and we're starting to dial those in, and members should be finding those to be getting quicker over the mountain.
I played Apache about 2 weeks ago, and I played it again on this past Thursday, and I got to tell you what a difference just in a 2-week span at how that golf course has really come together. It's not as wet as it was. It's firming up great. Grass is still growing. I see you've got the rough. You're starting to now bring it down just a little bit. It's got a nice stand. Maybe tell those members that haven't seen some of our turf talks, that maybe just got back to Desert Mountain, why why things are a little soft and why is the grass a little higher than maybe they've seen in the past.
So at Apache, like John said, we've started cutting the water back. We've talked about that over the last couple of weeks. I said that we would start doing that, and we have. The turf continues to mature and develop and is really doing nicely for us, and the playability is increasing on the golf course. I appreciate everybody's patience as we work through that process. The importance of keeping the grass a little taller in the wetter conditions is to allow the turf plant, the ryegrass plant in this case, and the new fescue that we incorporated into the rough to develop without putting a bunch of traffic on it. And the plant reflects above ground what it is below ground. So the more you cut the leaf tissue off the top of the ground, the less you're putting energy into growing roots at below ground, kind of like a solar panel. If you think of the leaf tissue like a solar panel on your house, the less leaf tissue you have, the less energy that you're putting into the ground, which ultimately means the less root structure you have. And so everything we do between now and like May or June is to get through June, July, August here is with turf conditions and not have the turf loss. So we're trying to put deposits into a bank account per se, sure, utilizing the roots of our turf, and then when we get in the heat of the summer, we'll be withdrawing out of that bank account, relying on that root tissue to help the turf grass plant survive. And so that's as simple as I could put it.
So Mother Nature gives it and she takes it back away. Is that what you're saying?
Very much so.
Yes. So that's the reasoning. So be patient. At this time of year, you're going to get some juicy lies, just like you would if you were back in the north or northeast, and then you come out of spring and they're growing the grass up. It's a little tough until the summer heat comes back there and it starts to come down. We'll see the same thing when the winter temperatures get cooler. Grass will start to thin a little bit. It'll be very playable out there in the roughs. Let's talk about Geronimo. Geronimo is a non-overseeded golf course this year for the various reasons we mentioned in our previous turf talks. But what are you going to do to color that up a little bit?
So at Geronimo, we did our greens aerification last week. Came out very well. We're excited of what we see and the conditions, the firmness of the greens. I think it's going to continue to get better. Our speeds will get better as the greens heal up. And then in the fairways, you all have probably, if you haven't been out there, you'll notice when you do go out there that we did a natural pigment on the fairways already. We did the first app of natural pigment. It's not the final app, but this is just our shoulder to kind of shoulder us through as the Bermuda is starting to go dormant. We put this pigment down to kind of give it a green color. And then over in about the next week or two, we'll be putting the final paint application on it, which will be the final product, which will be a nice green tint to that. You'll also notice when you're out there, we do have some escapees. I call them escapees, but ryegrass clumps.
Okay.
Everywhere from previous overseeds that we are continuing to work on killing. The ryegrass has not emerged until recently, and so that's why the clumps are out there. But the team will be out there starting to continue to spray that, kill that, like I've talked about, the whole reason why we're not overseeding down there, staying aggressive on the weed control, and then the painting. And I think turf conditions will be good. We're going to be monitoring cart traffic across all of our properties. That one specifically too, with the Bermuda being dormant down there, with ropes and stakes and enter and exit stakes, and just would like to ask the membership to try to minimize as much time in the rough areas, stay on the fairway areas if we can, and help us with that with cart traffic.
Yeah, I noticed that at Renegade and Apache specifically about the carts. You know, everybody kind of wants to go in that same follow the leader pattern, but if you see cart tracks that are coming from the path, they're going through the rough into the fairway, try to take another route, you know, and get to the fairway, try to stay in the fairway, stay out of the rough, and then exit appropriately where you have the exits and so forth. I think that'd be awesome. Practice facilities, Apache in particular, you know, we only have so much available turf out there. What would you like to ask our members?
We'd just like to ask the members to spread out and utilize the other facilities right now, mainly CG and Outlaw if they're going to really go hardcore practice, and leave Apache for our members that are playing Apache that day and to warm up. And then we have the cages down at Renegade as well that members can warm up to go to Renegade, and just help us with the available turf that we have at Apache right now to utilize that as best we can.
I think that's great advice. You know, while Renegade's under construction, you know, we are a little bit limited on some of that turf availability, and we're eating it fast at Apache. If you haven't seen it already, we've had to reseed that top tee already. So
yeah, and my team is working really hard on top dressing and seeding and trying to keep up, and just trying to get it back into shape. But if everybody could just spread out a little bit, it would really help us.
Great. Thank you, members. Thank you for your patience and understanding. We just want the best turf quality and the best practice facilities available for you at Desert Mountain. Tell us about Renegade. Different type of grass, bed grass down there, kind of like 7. What's happening down at Renegade? Yeah,
so as we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks, you know, Renegade had a tough run in the summer with the disease and stuff, and we had some repairs to make with sodding, with seeding in the roughs. We had some wet conditions early on that were really wet as we were growing the sod and the seed all in. We have been able to start cutting that back, and we're starting to see some really positive results down there, getting a handle on some of the challenges of Renegade with the moundings and the fairways and traffic directions with rope and stake, and just, you know, like I mentioned earlier, would like to ask the members help with doing that down there. That's one of the main spots. And just like 7, you know, we're in the recovery mode, but we are extremely happy with what we're seeing.
You're getting better every day.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of Renegade, I just want to mention one thing to our members. This has come to my attention. We have been seeing that members might be playing on the white green and putting out, and other members that are playing behind might be playing to the gold green, and they're hitting to that green while people are still on the white green. Please just be respectful for your fellow members. Let them exit properly and safely from the white green before you play into the gold green. Some of them are pretty far apart, but you know, from a pace standpoint too, it'd be a much better experience for everybody and a lot safer. So, Todd, thank you. Appreciate all the things you and your team have been doing. The golf courses are getting better, and I've been hearing great positive comments from members. So, thank you.
Thank you.